icons, and one of the explanations this model claims that happens in second dimension, if we started with, let's just say, a photon, is that the photon copies itself in a mirror. So another way to say this is something and a copy of the something, that it happened in this mirror arrangement. Another crude example of this that we might all be able to identify with has to do with our own physical bodies once again, because by our perception we all started out as a single cell, and then the first thing that happened was that cell made a copy of itself and split into two cells. And at that point there was really no way to tell the difference between the original cell and the copy, and both of those cells went on separate journeys. This one went to divide again and again and again, and so did this one, but yet they were also both on the same train ride. In fact, from my lifetime perspective, they're still on the same train ride, because somewhere in this thing are the repercussions of what happened here between first and second dimension. Another definition of this energy signature, if you've watched any of my other videos, is something I call analog. An analog is a representation of something that has two poles. And believe it or not, all of our troubles in this place have to do with this energy signature and this perception. And part of the reason for that is because I can only suggest to you that this is also the energy signature of an illusion that I am trying to make sense of. And so something that happens in second dimension, when we explore this just a little bit further, you will see, is that interpretation becomes reality here. Again, because we're trying to interpret an illusion. Now, other ways to interpret second dimension: when we take photon to the next order of magnitude, we come to another perception of particles that we know of as subatomic. And what I have drawn here is a representation that we perceive of the simplest atom, the hydrogen atom, which is comprised in our perception of a single proton and a single electron. So we haven't even reached neutron here yet, but neutron is a perception of a particle from particle theory that we perceive in the subatomic world. Again, we have differentiation, protons and electrons, but we also could see from this diagram we also have a something inside of a something, a reality bubble inside of a reality bubble. Nested awareness, one inside of the other. Here is yet another representation of a two-pole perception of our universe. In this diagram, I'm showing quasars and black holes as being large picture two-pole realities in the space-time continuum, where light, matter, energy, take your pick, three different ways to say the same thing, are gushing out of the quasars. And on their journey, they're playing a game or dancing a dance, they're interacting with each other, and ultimately disappearing into the black hole. And from where this talks, when they disappear into the black hole, they come right back out the quasar and do the journey all over again. And where we are in time is along the ride of this. As the photons come out of the quasar, they make copies of themselves, they interact with themselves, they play the game that they play, they become everything that we perceive as stuff of the universe, including our bodies, ride that ride, and disappear into the black hole again to do it all over again. So there are reasons why we have this two-pole perception. It's just that getting lost here, getting stuck here, again, is somewhat of the trouble of this place. I have a few of these to show you along the way of this story, that I'm going to show you next.